to labor. So pregnancy progresses. Like I said, it's a hard pregnancy. I'm trying to make this video as quick as possible, so I might be cutting out a lot of stuff. So if you guys have any questions, just ask the questions in the question below. But I'm trying to like condense everything into one video so it's not super long. So it's not 20 minutes, but if it is, I'll try to cut it if I can figure out how to use the Windows Movie Maker. So yeah, on to labor and delivery. So when I'm about 37 weeks pregnant, I started having a hard time. My hands and my feet started to get really swollen. I started to have contractions around that time, and my pressure is like a little elevated. And like I went to the ER about 8 times, I think, during like my last month and a half. I was in the ER about 8 times because every time I thought this is it, because of the pain and everything, and it wasn't it. So when I was about 38.5 weeks pregnant, I went to my doctor's appointment and they checked my blood pressure. And when you checked my blood pressure, they checked it about 3 times. It was like elevated. It was like 140 over something. And they were like, my doctor was like, when are you going to be 39 weeks? And I said, Friday. And I went in on that Wednesday. So, he kept checking, and he kept it's like he was rattling back and forth if he wanted to induce me that Wednesday or what. But he was like, okay, how are you feeling? Do you have any headaches? Anything? I was like, no, I feel fine. Whatever. He was like, are you feeling lightheaded, dizzy? I was like, no, I feel fine. He was like, well, okay, I'm going to induce you Friday. And in my head, I'm like, thank you, Jesus. I can't take it. I don't want to be pregnant anymore. But I didn't say that out loud. And I was like, okay. And he was like, but when you go home, even though I told you I'm going to induce you on Friday, don't go home trying to do everything. Go home and relax. Elevate your feet. Just relax. I'm putting you on bed rest until Friday morning. I was like, okay. So I came home, and my husband and my father-in-law was here because my mom had went on a missionary work overseas, and my mom wasn't here to help. So my husband went to go get my father-in-law to help, with the cooking, to take care of my son, and with the helping around, getting the stuff ready for the baby. So I came home and I told him, well, the doctor said I can't do anything, so it's up to you guys while the next 2 days, and while I'm in the hospital until I come home, you guys have to have it together because the house has to be ready for rain. So I relaxed for 2 days, got up Friday morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. We had to be at the hospital about like 5, and we still ended up getting there late. Got up about 4 o'clock in the morning, threw up. It was like a routine for me. Threw up, took a shower, brush my teeth, whatever. And I put on makeup because I told myself that labor was not going to catch me the way it did last time, where I was just looking raggedy. Because I went into the doctor. I was induced with my son too, but it was just like a normal doctor visit. I went in there looking raggedy because I was tired of being pregnant. I was just feeling bad. I was just ready not to be pregnant anymore. So I just went up in there looking crazy, and then I went to labor that day, and my pictures were looking crazy. I was like, this time around, if the labor doesn't hit me, and I'm gonna be induced like before, then I'm gonna, fix myself up. So I did my makeup, very neutral. If you follow me on Instagram, if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, like if you've seen, I was on Twitter and Instagram up until I went into active labor. It's crazy, but yeah, my links from my Twitter and my Instagram will be at the bottom. I was on both until I went to active labor. So we got there, and they induced me. And my whole thing was I was trying to do a natural birth without an epidural, like I did with my son. Because with my son, it was my labor was 6 hours, and by the time I thought I needed the epidural, it was too late, and it just told me I had to push. So I was thinking, okay, I'm going there with that same mindset, like if I did it with my son, I can do it this time around. So I went in there, and everything was all good. I was on the phone with everybody, joking around with my husband. And then it got to a point, mind you, I was in labor with my son for 6 hours. With my daughter, I was in labor for 12 hours. So that shit that they tell you that the labor with your second child will be faster, false. Not for everybody. So yeah, I was in labor 12 hours. So I got to the point where I was like, okay, I need something. So they came and gave me some type of medication. I forgot what it was, and it took the edge off. And but they were like, we can only give this to you every 4 hours. After 2 hours, it wore completely, and I was right back in pain. And I kept telling my husband, I need something. I can't take it. I can't take it, babe. I need something. He's like, okay, okay. And he's like, just breathe. Just breathe. No, he's trying to help me. I'm calling my son to listen to my son's voice, because when I get my son on the phone, like, I kind of subside the pain, because I don't want him to hear me in so much pain. I don't want him to hear like the pain on him, so I kind of like push the pain back. And I try to talk to him, but I can only do that for like top 5 minutes tops. So I'm constantly calling him back, saying, oh, what are you doing, Shawty? And he's like, Mommy, are you in labor? Are you pushing? And I was like, yeah, you know, trying to be as normal as possible with him, even though I'm in excruciating pain. And I was trying to do that to help me get through the contractions, but at that point, I couldn't even take that anymore. And my husband, like, it was so much pain to the point I was like in and out. If anybody who had a baby, who had like really bad labor pains, you know, you feel like you blacking in and out. So I told my husband, I need something. He was like, okay, I'm gonna go get somebody. I was like, go get the nurse, go get the nurse. He's like, I'm gonna go get the nurse. Time passed by, and I'm noticing no nurses coming to the room. So the last time I was like, babe, you lying to me. You never went to go get the nurse. I said, I need you to help me. I can't take this so much. I can't do it. Please get the nurse. So the nurse came in, and she was like, well, it's only been 2.5 hours. I can't give you the medication again. The only possibility you have is an epidural. I was like, well, give me that. And like I looked at my husband, like I wanted to cry, because I felt disappointed in myself, and I felt like he was disappointed in me. So I got they came in with the epidural, and the epidural was like the bomb.com. Like, what? Felt so good. As soon as I gave me the epidural, I was asleep. I was out. And when she came and checked me, I was like 5.5, 6 centimeters. I think when they gave me the epidural. In a matter of like an hour and a half, I was at 9 centimeters. Because that's when the nurse told me it was a good thing that I ended up getting the epidural, because if I didn't get the epidural, it just me tensing up and my body in so much pain, it would just slow the labor down. Me being able to relax speeded me dilating faster. So, but when I was at 9 centimeters, the way my daughter was in my birth canal, the birth canal is like she was turned sideways or something, so they had to put me on stirrups, and they had to turn me from side to side to try to like kind of coax her in the birth canal for her to come out. So they were doing that for a while too. Like they'll turn me from one side and the other side and the other side. So did that. Finally, she's there. Like, okay, it's time for you to push. And if anybody who has ever had an epidural, you are like really numb for the moment. Like you were really numb. They say from the waist down, but you damn near numb the whole time, because like I felt like I couldn't, I don't know, you just numb. So like they telling me to push, and I'm like, I'm pushing. And like I was like, well, I can't feel anything, so I'm not gonna push. And they were like, well, just push, just I guess do it with your mind. So I'm pushing. And like I'm like, okay, am I pushing? They're like, yeah, you're doing good. Push. And let me know when to pull. And I'm pushing harder, pushing harder, pushing. Finally, I pushed hard enough, and she was out. And that's my labor and delivery story. That's my pregnancy, wedding, labor and delivery story. I think that's about it. If this video is too long, I will surely cut it. I will try, because I know myself, I'm not going to sit and watch no 20-minute video most of the time. The only time I watch over 20 minutes is when I'm watching the Scorpion show here on YouTube, or if I'm watching one Sexy Teen, because I don't know. But usually when I'm watching those two, like I'm not sitting right in front of the computer watching it for like over 10 minutes. I have it playing in the background, like I let music play while I'm doing other stuff. So hopefully this video isn't too long. I'll try to cut it, and then I'll try to record another video if I can, because I have to go do my mommy duties and pump and breastfeeding, and go check on the kids before I go ahead and try to record another one. But yeah, until next video, I'm out. And all the links for everything I mentioned, my wedding pictures, my Twitter, my Instagram, all of that will be in the description bar below.